One great thing about our program I always like to throw out there, since we are in the lovely state of South Carolina, a lot of you guys will limit yourself on where you apply. So you apply to MUSC, you apply to USC, because in-state tuition. Great thing about our program, I guess it's the same with dental, there's no cap. And so if you are truly interested in coming into the Air Force and learn our programs, apply everywhere. Private schools, I mean, I know it costs what, anywhere from $100 to maybe $200 each time you click the button to send your application out. So that's kind of a pain. But if you think you have a chance to get into, Van D or any of these schools, but you're just not wanting to do it because of the money, don't let that stop you, because we will flip the bill for any of those schools. So I always have to throw out that. Just bringing up any new questions? We got any new questions up there?
Would you just mind describing a typical 4 years with the Air Force after you graduate?
That's what I was waiting for. Well, basically, the big differences are going to be that, for one, while your training never stops in the Air Force. From right out of dental school till the time, if you decide to serve 20 years, your training never stops. You never stagnate. You're always moving. There's no such thing as lateral or backwards. You're always moving forward or upward. Because not only are you a dentist, you're also a commissioned officer. So neither one of those two can stay stagnant. One's going to pull the other one along. You're not going to be doing the filling and drilling like most dentists are. How many of you come from dental families that have friends or families that are dentists? Unless you're ready to step into someone's practice and actually have a seat waiting for you, then you're going to do basically what we call fast food dentistry. You're going to go apply, hopefully get hired by a dentist. You're going to be his employee. You're going to be the one that generates money so he can go play golf. You're going to be the one 15 minutes fill and drill. You're going to be doing cavities probably for your first 2-3 years, fill and drill. With us, you walk in, you have your own practice. You're Dr. So-and-so, you come in, put your scrubs on, you've got 2 techs and an hygienist that work for you. You have your own office, your own facility, your own equipment, and you come in during the day and you're Captain, Smith, whatever, dentist, you treat patients, and then at the end of the day you hang your scrubs up and you go home. You don't have to worry about hiring, firing, malpractice, billing, insurance, Medicaid. You have full scope of practice, which means when a patient comes to you, if they need a crown, they're going to get a crown. It's not going to be, well, I can't afford it. What kind of crown can you get? Do you have to get them a cheap one? Can you give them a gold one? You give them the top of the line from start to finish. If you have to do it over 3 appointments, they'll come back for 3 appointments. Because not only are they not paying for it, the Air Force is paying for it. You're also an officer, and when you schedule an appointment for them, they're obligated. That's a direct order. If you tell me that I need to come back to the crown on Thursday, I'm going to be back in your office at 10 o'clock on Thursday for my scheduled appointment. If I don't show up, my first sergeant's going to be going, you had an appointment with Dr. Smith at 10 o'clock, why were you not there? Oops. Yeah, so you don't have the same kinds of problems that civilian dentists do. You don't have to worry about hiring and firing your employees. If you have a tech that you just absolutely can't stand, or something you don't feel is up to par, you have a guy like me that runs your practice for you. You'll come over and say, hey, sir, Airman so-and-so is just not cutting it. Got it, doc, and I'll take care of Airman so-and-so. You don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. You'll have an NCO to run your practice for you. All we want you to do is be a dentist. That's it. Plain and simple, period. We don't want you worrying about the business part of it. Your upgrade training, your continuing education is even taking care of for you. It's scheduled for you. So when the time comes, oh, you're going TDY to Tyndall Air Force Base for 3 days to go run this new procedure. So you get an all-expense paid trip to Florida to go spend about an hour or 2 in class, and then spend the rest of the day doing whatever you want to do. And then you come back and go back to work. I mean, that's called TUI. That's what we're doing today. We're staying at the Marriott, and we're going here and speak for an hour, and they do their show with me. But, you've got a lot of neat perks. The fact that if there's no set number of patients that you have to see every day. And this goes the same thing with the medical side. There's no, if you work family practice, because I'm from the medical field before I became a recruiter, I worked directly for a family practice physician in the nursing field. There's no set number of patients that you have to see every day. If a patient comes in and you feel like you need to spend three time slots with them, then you book them for 3 time slots. There's no pressure to make money, to get that patient out of there, give them some pills, and so the next one can get in. You have the latitude to do what you need to do as a practitioner to give your patients the best care. Because when we bring one of you in to be a dentist, you can be working on my kids, you can be working on my wife, you can be working on me. You know, we want you to have what you need and the time that you need to provide the best care. Because these truly are. You can be working on some of America's heroes. You can be working on some guy that's going to go over to Afghanistan or Iraq or something and just to win the Medal of Honor, like the guy that just got presented with the Medal of Honor today. You know, somebody treated him, some physician that one of us put in the Air Force to do that job. So it's kind of neat how we all work together. You know, not directly, but somebody was responsible for putting that guy in. So. Air Force bases? Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know if it's in this book. There's Charleston in South Carolina, and then there's also Shaw Air Force Base in South Carolina. That's in Columbia. So, well, it's actually in South Carolina. It's close to Columbia. Yes.
So after your 4 years, do you then just pick one of these bases to go to? Like, is that where you're directed? Because I'm sure you have like a ranking system, but will you be like living in those areas? I'm guessing just the Air
That's a good
Force.
question. Actually, there's not really a ranking system. The way it works is you fill out a form, and it's called the Air Force Form 1437, which means nothing to you. But basically what that does is it outlines your job, your little niche in the Air Force. And it'll say what kind of facility you'd like to work in, whether it's small, medium, or large. And then down at the bottom, there'll be, say what your career field is going to be. And then it has your picks. You can pick up to 8 stateside, and I think it's 5 overseas bases. You don't have to pick overseas if you don't want. I mean, you don't have to pick any bases, and the Air Force will just send you wherever they need you. But this is your voice saying, hey, this is where I'd like to go. And the Air Force is a business. Don't get me wrong, we're one of the best run businesses in the world. But it's ultimately, it's all about the Air Force. It really is. We have to be all about the Air Force. But we don't sacrifice our people to be all about the Air Force. And I know that sounds kind of confusing, but we're a business first. But our employees are the single most important part of our business. We are a very people-oriented business. So if you, what's your name?
Krista.
So if Krista wants to go to Jacksonville, Florida, then she can put that on her list along with the other picks. When it comes time for you to, when you're in that last semester of college, they're going to go down and they're going to start looking off that sheet. Air Force Personnel Center, someone who's in charge of looking at your job, is going to pull up Krista and they're going to say, okay, she's graduating, she wants to go here, and just type in a little database. Nope, that one's not available, go to pick number 2. No, that one's not available, pick number 3. Oh, that one's clink, and that's where you go. So they try to get you where you want to go, but the needs of the Air Force come first. We can't send you someplace where there's not an opening because they really need a dentist. And if they're sending you to a little base that's already got 5 dentists and they're only allocated 3, you can't really justify sending number 6 there. Well, this base over here needs 5 dentists and only has 2. So
For both medical and dental, though, I mean, rest assured that, just like Sergeant McKenna said, we try to get you as high up on that list as possible because it's all about retention for us as well. And what better way to retain people than to keep them happy? So if North Dakota is not on your list, we're not going to throw you there just because. I mean, we're going to try to give you a place that's, like Sergeant McKenna said, that has to be an opening there. The same for medical.
we actually pick our jobs. This sounds really techy, but we actually pick our jobs on the internet. So it's almost like monster.com. That's how we do our jobs in the Air Force. And laugh, it's real. It's called Equal Plus. And that's how I got this job, is you go on there and you pull up your career field and you look for openings in your career field. You're sorted by career field. And you have a job code. It's called Air Force Service Code. And mine was 48071. So I can just type in 48071. And every job in the entire Air Force on this planet, and probably pretty soon apparently some of those other planets, will show up in there. And if they have an opening and you meet the qualifications, all you do is there's a definite job description, things that you have to meet. You print out the syllabus for that job. You just go down the checklist and you start gathering everything you need. You submit an application. You get your commander to sign it, and boom, you go, and then you get orders, and then you're going there.
I'm right in the middle of this process right now. So I have Guam is open for me, Milton College is in England, and then 2 Alaska bases. So luckily I don't need to pick out of this list, but that's what's open for me right now.
So worst case scenario, if you get to a base, you're only stuck there for 1 year minimum. So once you get there, if it's someplace that you get there and you're like, oh my God, I can't stand this place. Once you've been there for 12 months, you can go on Equal Plus and start working in places in the country. And we also have things that are called, there's behind the scenes ways of doing things, and it's not always possible. So I don't want you to think this is something that you can just go do. But we also have called swaps. Like if he's in California and I'm in Florida, and I'm a total West Coast guy, and he's a total East Coast guy. We're hating life, but we have the same job. We can do what's called a no-cost move. It's a swap. He gets authorization from his commander, I get authorization from my commander. I pack up my U-Haul, he packs up his U-Haul. We pass, and then he takes my job and I take his. A lot of things have to fall perfectly for that to happen. That's never an option. But we definitely want you to be happy. Because if you're not happy doing your job, your patients are going to be happy. The people that work with you are going to be happy, and then you're not going to be a productive employee, and everyone's just wasting their time. So
is your likelihood of going abroad just as good as
mine going abroad's done. I'm a recruiter. Mine going abroad is North and South Carolina. That's where we're stuck now. But no, I used to travel a lot. I used to love it. But with my job, I was able to go travel wherever I wanted overseas. Yeah, no, I can't do that. You guys could. I mean, if that's what you want to do. If that's what you select, yeah.
Same system. If there's an opening there, you put that as your one thing.
So you only like go abroad if you really ask for it.
No, you could go abroad. I mean, if there's a hardcore need that they need somebody to go overseas, then you could be tapping overseas. But your career field, you're one of the dental, right? Dental career field is so small, and there's so many people that want to go overseas that there's not going to be an issue with you being sent overseas if you don't want to, because plenty of people are standing in line to do that. So,
But it's a great point what you're saying. I don't think the likelihood, it's not too likely, but you do have to know, I think you guys should know this, that pretend this is your list. When the Air Force goes down your list and they can't find a hole for you when they get to the end, the Air Force can say, we do need you here. And so that would be something you do need to know.
and once you get to your first base, I'm sure everybody's heard of the word deployment, right? Deployment, or the chance of you being sent to 2 places. Everybody comes out with Iraq and Afghanistan. What's the chance of you being sent to Iraq or Afghanistan? Technically, the real answer is there is a chance you can be sent to Iraq and Afghanistan. I can't lie to you, there is a chance. But in all likelihood, you really can't. Because there's 3 categories of dentists. There's category C, B, and A. You're going to come in as a category C dentist, which means you're brand new, shiny, really not qualified to do much of anything. You don't have any practical experience. You have a piece of paper saying you know how to be a dentist. But we're not going to turn you loose on our service people with a little piece of paper that says you know how to do dentistry. You're going to have to prove that for a while. So you need to work your way out of category C and become a category B dentist. That's usually 2 years. So once you become a category B dentist, then you start being the one who's, now you can train other people. You can pretty much do, fully functioning, you don't require supervision. You can do your own thing. But you're still not really deployable because your scope isn't broad. You haven't been subjected to a bunch of different things. You've just pretty much done regular industry, people come in, oh,